Did you know over 36 million Americans faced power outages last year, some lasting days? No fridge, spoiled food, and you're stuck Googling how to open a can in the dark. But don't worry, in this video, I'm breaking down the 12 must-have survival items to keep your food fresh, your night stress-free, and your sanity intact during a blackout. If you're ready to be prepared for anything, hit that subscribe button and let's dive into the ultimate blackout survival guide for 2025. 1. Reliable flashlights and backup batteries. When the power goes out, the first thing you'll notice is the overwhelming darkness. It's not just inconvenient, it can be downright disorienting. That's why having reliable flashlights and plenty of backup batteries is an absolute must. Sure, it sounds like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how many people scramble to find a single flashlight buried in a junk drawer only to discover it's out of batteries or doesn't work at all. Flashlights are your first line of defense against the dark. While candles might seem like a romantic or cozy option, they come with risks, especially if you have kids or pets. A curious cat's tail or a toddler's wandering hands can turn a blackout into a fire hazard in seconds. Flashlights, on the other hand, are safe, portable, and effective. But not all flashlights are created equal. When choosing one, look for durability and functionality. LED flashlights are a great choice because they're energy efficient, long-lasting, and often come with multiple settings like high beam, low beam, or even an SOS mode for emergencies. If you want to go the extra mile, consider a rechargeable flashlight or one with a hand crank. These options eliminate the need for constant battery replacements and ensure you're never left in the dark. Speaking of batteries, don't overlook their importance. A high-quality flashlight is useless without working batteries. Always keep a stash of spare batteries in an easily accessible spot, and here's a pro tip: store them separately from the flashlight. Leaving batteries inside for too long can lead to leaks or corrosion, rendering your flashlight useless when you need it most. And yes, you'll need more than one flashlight. Keep one in the kitchen, one by your bedside, and maybe even a compact one in your car or bag. For hands-free convenience, invest in a headlamp. It's perfect for tasks like cooking, cleaning, or even checking on the fuse box without juggling a flashlight. In a blackout, light isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Make sure you're prepared. 2. Battery-powered or hand-crank radios. When the power goes out, staying informed becomes a challenge. Your Wi-Fi's down, your phone's battery is draining fast, and suddenly you're cut off from the outside world. This is where a battery-powered or hand-crank radio becomes a game-changer. It might sound old school, but trust me, it's one of the smartest tools you can have in your blackout survival kit. Radios provide real-time updates on weather conditions, emergency alerts, and even power restoration timelines. When the grid is down, they become your lifeline to critical information. And while your smartphone might seem like a viable alternative, it's only as good as its battery life. Once that's gone, you're left in the dark, literally and figuratively. A hand crank radio is particularly useful because it doesn't rely on batteries. With just a few cranks, you can generate enough power to tune into essential broadcasts. Some models even come with additional features like built-in flashlights, USB charging ports, or solar panels. These multifunctional devices are perfect for emergencies, but even a basic model will do the job. The key is to keep your radio in a spot where you can grab it quickly, test it periodically to ensure it's working properly, and if it uses batteries, make sure you have extras on hand. A radio might not be the flashiest item on your survival list, but it's one of the most practical. When the internet goes dark, this little device keeps you connected to the world. 3. Manual can openers. The unsung heroes. Imagine this. The power's out, your fridge is slowly warming up, and you're eyeing that pantry full of canned goods. There's just one problem. You don't have a way to open them. This is where a manual can opener becomes your best friend. It's a small, unassuming tool, but in a blackout, it's worth its weight in gold. Sure, you could try opening a can with a knife, or rock, or some other makeshift method, but let's be honest, that's a recipe for frustration or even injury. A sturdy, hand-cranked can opener gets the job done quickly and safely. It's one of those items you don't think about until you desperately need it, so don't overlook its importance. Not all can openers are created equal, though. Some are flimsy, awkward to use, or prone to breaking. Invest in a high-quality model that feels solid in your hand and operates smoothly. Trust me, the last thing you want during a blackout is to wrestle with a stubborn can opener while your stomach growls. Here's a pro tip. Keep more than one can opener in your home. Store one in your kitchen, another in your emergency kit, and maybe even one in your car or camping gear. They're small enough to stash anywhere, but invaluable when you need them. And don't forget to test them occasionally to make sure they're still in good working condition. A manual can opener might not be the most exciting item on this list, but it's one of the most practical. When you're hungry and the power's out, this little tool can make all the difference. 4. Non-perishable food. Fuel for the blackout. When the lights go out, one of the first things you'll worry about is food. Your fridge and freezer are ticking time bombs, and once they lose power, the clock starts ticking on your perishables. That's why having a stash of non-perishable food is essential for any blackout survival plan. Non-perishable foods are items that don't require refrigeration, cooking, or much preparation. Think canned meats like tuna or chicken, peanut butter, trail mix, granola bars, jerky, and even powdered milk or boxed juice. These foods are not only shelf-stable, but also easy to eat, making them perfect for power outages. But don't stop at the basics. Variety is key to keeping morale high during a blackout. Stock up on comfort foods like chocolate, cookies, or candy bars. These treats might not be essential for survival, but they can do wonders for your mood, especially if you're stuck in the dark with restless kids or grumpy roommates. Another great option is meals in a can, like ravioli, chili, or soup. They're hearty, filling, and easy to prepare. Just make sure you have a manual can opener handy, and don't forget to rotate your stock every few months. Use older items before they expire and replace them with fresh ones. This way, your emergency stash stays ready for action. When building your food supply, focus on items you actually enjoy eating. If you hate oatmeal, don't stock up on it just because it's shelf-stable. The goal is to create a stash of foods that are both practical and satisfying. After all, a well-fed household is a happy household, even during a blackout. Second tip / 5 coolers, your portable fridge in a pinch. When the power goes out, one of the first things you'll worry about is how to keep your perishables from turning into a science experiment. That's where a trusty cooler steps in to save the day. While most people think of coolers as picnic or beach day essentials, they're actually a blackout hero in disguise. Think of them as your portable fridge with superpowers. The concept is simple. When your fridge loses power, transfer your most perishable items, like milk, meat, and dairy, into a cooler packed with ice or ice packs. This can buy you precious time, sometimes even a couple of days, depending on how well insulated your cooler is and how often you open it. The less you open it, the longer it stays cold. So plan ahead and group similar items together. For example, keep meats on one side, dairy on another, and drinks in their own section. In this way, you're not rummaging through everything every time you need a snack. Now, don't wait until the lights go out to realize you don't have a cooler. If you live in an area prone to storms, heat waves, or rolling blackouts, it's smart to have at least 1 or 2 coolers on hand. And don't forget about ice packs. Reusable ice packs, or even frozen water bottles, are great options. The water bottles serve a dual purpose. They keep your cooler cold and provide drinking water once they melt. If you want to go the extra mile, consider investing in a high-quality cooler with thick insulation and a tight seal. Larger coolers might seem excessive, but when you're trying to save half your fridge, you'll be glad you have the extra space. And if you can get your hands on dry ice, even better. It lasts longer than regular ice and doesn't leave a puddle behind. Just remember to handle it with gloves to avoid frostbite. Bottom line, a good cooler isn't just for camping trips. It's a practical, life-saving tool that can help you avoid wasting food and money during a blackout. When the power goes out, you'll be glad you planned ahead. 6 portable power banks. Stay connected, stay sane. In today's world, our phones are more than just gadgets. They're lifelines. From checking weather updates to staying in touch with loved ones, your phone becomes even more critical during a blackout. But what happens when your battery dies and there's no outlet in sight? Enter the portable power bank, your personal power source when the grid goes dark. portable power bank is essentially a backup battery for your devices. It's compact, easy to use, and can be a lifesaver when you're running low on juice. But not all power banks are created equal. If you grab a cheap, low-capacity one that barely charges your phone once, you're not doing yourself any favors. Instead, invest in a high-capacity power bank that can charge your phone 2 or 3 times on a single charge. Some models even come with multiple USB ports, allowing you to charge several devices at once, perfect for families or anyone with a tablet, Bluetooth headphones, or other gadgets. For those thinking long-term, a solar-powered charger is a fantastic option. While it takes longer to charge, it provides a renewable energy source as long as the sun is shining. Just make sure to keep the solar panel clean and position it at the right angle for maximum efficiency. It's a great investment for extended blackouts or outdoor adventures. Here's a pro tip: always keep your power bank fully charged and ready to go. Store it in an easily accessible spot, and consider having more than one if you rely heavily on your devices. Some power banks even come with built-in flashlights, adding an extra layer of utility. In a blackout, staying connected isn't just about convenience, it's about safety and peace of mind. A reliable power bank ensures you're never completely cut off, no matter how long the power is out. 7. Cast iron cookware, the ultimate survival tool. When the power goes out, cooking can quickly become a challenge. No microwave, no electric stove, and suddenly even the simplest meal feels like a daunting task. That's where cast iron cookware comes to the rescue. Whether it's a skillet or a Dutch oven, cast iron is the ultimate survival tool for blackout cooking. Why cast iron? For starters, it's incredibly versatile. You can use it on a gas stove, a camping burner, an open fire, or even inside a fireplace if you're feeling adventurous. It's tough, durable, and can handle high heat without breaking a sweat. Plus, it retains heat exceptionally well, making it perfect for frying, searing, baking, or even slow-cooking meals. A cast iron skillet is ideal for quick meals like eggs, pancakes, or grilled sandwiches. On the other hand, a Dutch oven opens up a world of possibilities, from soups and stews to roasts and even bread. The best part? Cast iron doesn't rely on electricity, just heat. So whether you're using a propane stove or a campfire, you're good to go. Another bonus of cast iron is the flavor. Over time, the seasoning on your pan builds up, creating a natural, non-stick surface and adding a rich, smoky flavor to your food. And don't worry if your pan looks a little worse for wear. Cast iron is incredibly forgiving. A little cleaning and re-seasoning can bring it back to life. Pro tip: make sure your cast iron is well seasoned before you need it. A thin layer of oil and some heat will keep it protected and performing at its best. And if you're new to cast iron, practice using it before an emergency strikes. The last thing you want is to be fumbling with unfamiliar cookware in the middle of a blackout. In short, cast iron cookware isn't just a kitchen staple, it's a survival essential. Once you start using it, you might find yourself reaching for it even when the power's back on. 8. Propane or butane stoves, cooking made easy. When the power goes out, your electric stove and microwave are out of commission, leaving you with limited options for cooking. That's where a propane or butane stove comes in. These portable stoves are compact, easy to use, and provide a reliable heat source when you need it most. Propane stoves are a popular choice because they use small, refillable tanks that are widely available and long-lasting. They are perfect for extended blackouts or situations where you need a consistent heat source. Butane stoves, on the other hand, are lighter and more compact, making them ideal for smaller spaces or short-term use. Both options are easy to light and provide a real flame, allowing you to cook meals just like you would on a regular stove. The beauty of these stoves is their versatility. You can boil water for pasta, fry up some eggs, or heat a can of soup without any hassle. Some models even come with adjustable heat settings, so you're not stuck cooking everything on high. This is especially useful for simmering sauces or making more delicate dishes. Pro tip: don't wait until the power goes out to familiarize yourself with your stove. Test it out beforehand to make sure it lights easily and burns evenly. Also, store your extra fuel in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight or extreme heat. And if you live in a colder climate, keep in mind that butane doesn't perform as well in freezing temperatures, so propane might be the better choice. A portable stove isn't just a convenience, it's a necessity. It allows you to prepare hot, satisfying meals even when the grid is down. Whether you're dealing with a short-term outage or a longer emergency, a propane or butane stove ensures you won't have to rely on cold snacks or canned food alone. 9 and fire starters, matches, lighters, and beyond, you've got your stove, your cookware, and your food ready to go. But here's the catch: none of it matters if you can't light a flame. That's why having reliable fire starters like matches and lighters is absolutely essential during a blackout. It might seem like a small detail, but trust me, when you're fumbling around in the dark trying to get a flame going, you'll wish you had planned ahead. Let's start with the basics. Matches. Regular matches are fine for everyday use, but they're not exactly reliable in an emergency. A little moisture, and they're as useful as wet spaghetti. That's why waterproof matches are a game changer. Designed for camping and survival situations, these matches can light even after being exposed to water. They're easy to use. Just strike them hard and you've got instant fire. Lighters are another must-have. But not just any lighter will do. Storm-proof lighters, the kind used by backpackers and outdoor enthusiasts, are built to withstand wind, rain, and even accidental drops. They're durable, reliable, and perfect for emergency situations. And here's a pro tip: don't rely on just one method. Keep both matches and lighters in your kit. If one fails, the other has your back. Storage is key when it comes to fire starters. Tossing a matchbook into a junk drawer isn't going to cut it. Instead, store your matches and lighters in a waterproof container or a Ziploc bag. This extra layer of protection ensures they'll work when you need them most, even if things get messy during a storm. And if you want to go the extra mile, consider adding a fire starter tool to your kit. Ferro rods or magnesium fire starters are compact, long-lasting, and work in almost any condition. They're a bit more effort to use, but they're a great backup option. Bottom line, fire is a survival essential, and having the right tools to start one can make all the difference. Whether you're cooking, staying warm, or just lighting up the dark, matches and lighters are non-negotiable. 10. Water solutions, bottles, and purification tablets. Food is important, but water, that's non-negotiable. When the power goes out, your water supply might not be far behind. If you rely on a well pump, or if a storm contaminates the local water system, you could find yourself without safe drinking water. That's why having reusable water bottles and purification tablets is a must for any blackout survival kit. Let's start with reusable water bottles. You probably already have a few lying around, but for emergencies, you'll want bottles that are BPA-free, leak-proof, and durable. Bonus points if they're insulated. Keeping your water cool when the AC is off can feel like a small luxury. Having multiple bottles on hand makes it easier to store and transport clean water, whether you're staying put or need to move around. But here's the thing, even the best water bottles won't help if you run out of clean water. That's where purification tablets come in. These little tablets are like magic for questionable water sources. Whether you're pulling water from a stream, a rain barrel, or even a tap under a boil advisory, purification tablets kill bacteria, viruses, and parasites, making the water safe to drink. They're lightweight, easy to use, and take up almost no space in your emergency kit. Some tablets work in as little as 30 minutes, while others take a bit longer. Either way, they're a lifesaver when clean water is hard to come by. And if you want to be extra prepared, consider adding a portable water filter to your kit. Filters like the Life Straw or Sawyer Mini are compact, effective, and can provide clean water on the go. Pro tip: fill up your water bottles as soon as you know a blackout is coming. If you have extra containers, fill those too. The more water you have on hand, the better, and don't forget to store your purification tablets in a cool, dry place to keep them effective. In a blackout, water isn't just about hydration, it's about survival. With the right tools, you can ensure you and your family stay safe and healthy no matter how long the power is out. 11. First aid kit, your emergency lifesaver. Accidents happen, and during a blackout, the risk only increases. You're moving around in the dark, lighting candles, handling hot cookware, and maybe even breaking out camping gear you haven't touched in years. All of this adds up to a higher chance of cuts, burns, and other minor injuries. That's why a well-stocked first aid kit is an absolute must-have. A good first aid kit doesn't need to be fancy, but it does need to cover the basics. Start with bandages in various sizes, gauze pads, adhesive tape, and antiseptic wipes. Add antibiotic ointment, pain relievers like ibuprofen or acetaminophen, and burn cream. Tweezers are great for removing splinters or debris, and allergy meds can be a lifesaver if someone has an unexpected reaction. Pro tip: don't just buy a kit and forget about it. Store it somewhere easy to find, like a kitchen drawer or a cabinet near the main living area. Avoid high shelves or back closets. You don't want to be searching for it in the middle of an emergency. Check your kit every few months to replace used items. Toss expired meds and make sure everything is in good condition. A dried out antiseptic wipe isn't going to do you any good. If you want to go above and beyond, consider adding a few extras to your kit. A thermometer, nitrile gloves, and an emergency blanket can be incredibly useful, especially if the blackout happens during cold weather. And if you have kids, make sure your kit includes child-friendly medications and supplies. The bottom line? A first aid kit might not be the most exciting item on this list, but it's one of the most important. When accidents happen, and they will, you'll be glad you have it. 12. Unplugged entertainment, games, books, and cards. When the power goes out, the first few hours might feel like an adventure, but once the initial excitement wears off, boredom can set in fast. With no Wi-Fi, no TV, and a dying phone battery, you'll need something to keep everyone entertained. That's where good old-fashioned games, books, and cards come in. Board games are a fantastic way to pass the time and bring people together. Classics like Monopoly, Scrabble, and Clue are great for groups, while Jenga and Yahtzee add a bit of suspense and fun. If you've got kids, games like Guess Who or Candyland can keep them occupied and happy. And let's be honest, even adults can get competitive over a game of Uno by candlelight. Books are another must-have. Whether it's a novel you've been meaning to read or a collection of short stories, having something to dive into can make the hours fly by. And if you're not much of a reader, consider comic books or magazines for a quicker, lighter option. Pair it with a flashlight and you've got yourself a cozy reading nook. And then there's the humble deck of cards. It's small, portable, and endlessly versatile. From solitaire to poker to go fish, a deck of cards can provide hours of entertainment. Just make sure someone remembers the rules. Or better yet, keep a cheat sheet handy. Pro tip: create a blackout fun kit with all your entertainment essentials. Include a few board games, a deck of cards, some dice, and maybe even a notebook for doodling or writing. Store it in an easy-to-reach spot so you're not scrambling to find things in the dark. A blackout doesn't have to be boring. With the right entertainment, it can turn into a memorable bonding experience. Who knows, you might even find yourself reaching for these games and books long after the power comes back on. And there you have it, your Ultimate Blackout Survival Guide 2025 with the 12 must-have items to keep you safe, comfortable, and prepared when the power goes out. From reliable flashlights and portable power banks to first aid kits and even a deck of cards for entertainment, each of these essentials plays a critical role in turning a stressful blackout into a manageable situation. The key to surviving a power outage isn't just about having the right tools, it's about being proactive. Stock up on these items now, test them out, and make sure they're easily accessible when you need them most. Whether it's keeping your food fresh, staying connected, or simply passing the time, a little preparation goes a long way. Remember, blackouts can happen anytime, often without warning. But with this survival kit, you'll be ready to face the dark with confidence, calm, and maybe even a little creativity. So, don't wait for the next outage to catch you off guard. Start building your kit today. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others who might need a little extra prep inspiration. Stay safe, stay prepared, and as always, thanks for watching.